Now, hello everyone. I am so excited to be here on this very special day with my special friend Eva Olsson, and we are celebrating something extraordinary, and I am so privileged to have you to myself right now. Happy 96th birthday, my friend Eva Olsson. You look amazing. You look amazing.
Well, I should. I'm only 96.
You are only 96. It's true. Yes, and I love your beautiful purple top. It's gorgeous.
Yes, I promised the teacher in Edmonton that I will wear it because she gave it to me last October for my 95th birthday.
Beautiful. What is her name?
Lori.
Lori. Well, thank you, Lori. You have beautiful taste. It's a gorgeous, beautiful color, so you look vibrant on your birthday. I see some flowers in the background there.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
The tall yellow ones came from Monk Public School.
Aww.
From Sandy Martin.
Beautiful.
And the others came from Ottawa this afternoon, from my dear friends.
I love it.
Chris and Nancy.
Wow. Well, I know that there are people literally everywhere that are celebrating you today and celebrating what you have brought to their lives. And I'm laughing at myself because it's making me emotional, because I had the, I have to pull myself together. I had the privilege of watching a video that your granddaughters put together, and clips of your speaking, clips of your family, and people saying happy birthday to you from so many different places in the States, in Ottawa, Grand Prairie, all over. And I could feel how much they loved you and how you've impacted their lives. I just want, how does that feel, Eva, to know what you have brought to the world? Do you really understand how deep your impact has been?
Well, really, what I understand that we talked about on earlier interviews, I am not doing it because, as my granddaughter, the oldest, used to say when she went to high school here, Baba, the kids are saying you're a rock star.
Yes, they're right.
And I used to say to Brenna, I don't want to be a rock star. I just want you guys to get the message. Eliminate hate and bullying. And that's what it is for. When I did a Zoom the other in Ottawa on Monday, and teachers, every class saw it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
And one of the teachers asked, how come you don't hate? Because I don't want to be sick. It's a sickness.
It is a sickness.
So the reason why I am doing this, even at this age, it's part of healing. Giving and loving and caring is part of healing. Hate is not. It also helps me to keep my family spirit alive.
Yes.
Being silent did not do it. For 50 years, I was silent.
50 years.
50 years out of fear. Fear. People won't like me if they know I'm Jewish. But they're their problem and not mine, because I like me.
Well, you should like you. You're pretty amazing. And again, I know your passion and your purpose, it comes from your heart, it comes from your soul, and you're creating change, and yet just by what you have brought to children to teens to adults to people of all ages it's life changing. It's life changing. And I mean, I am forever grateful that we've connected. Our relationship has meant so much to me for so many reasons. And I know that when people hear your message, it stays with them forever. It stays with them forever. You can't unhear such a powerful message.
I had a phone call today from High Level, Alberta. You know where that is?
I do.
About approximately an hour and a half from the Northwest Territories.
Oh, okay. Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And he just wanted to hear my voice. I've been there twice. He was my host.
Wow.
If that helps someone, then I'm very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
It helps if she has 2 children. They still talk about you. I said, well, I'm happy because I had dinner there and they made sure they cooked salmon.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, because they asked I eat a lot of fish. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, and in the video that your granddaughters did, there were women, people who had heard your message as students many years before, and they were speaking as adults, and now they had their own children, and they,
yes,
right? That's just extraordinary, because your message will ripple and it will continue for many generations, because people like me and many other people that care deeply for you and about your message will continue to share your message. And you've also, but you've like your story, your legacy is in books and audiobooks, and it's forever. That's wow.
it's the legacy. Speaking about that somebody that heard me speak is older now and want the books, also from somewhere, I think it's Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
But the legacy is what's important.
Yes. Well, you've created an incredible legacy.
But also what we pass down to our children.
Yes.
Because it shapes their life, their character, and their behavior.
Absolutely.
For children, it's important to know that they love themselves. It's important for them to know who they are. Because once you know who you are, you can become the person you're destined to be. Mm-hmm. And acceptance. Those are the attributes that we have to make sure as parents, or even grandparents, if you have the opportunity, to pass that legacy down. Mm-hmm. So there's something to take with them.
Absolutely. So in 96 years, Eva, I mean, to just say 96 years, it doesn't seem possible, because your spirit is so young and energetic. It has nothing to do with age, but I would love to hear what you feel are the greatest lessons you've learned in your life and shared in your life. What were those greatest lessons?
For me, because of my journey of 76 years, mm-hmm. the lessons I have learned and what's important is family. Mm-hmm. For me, that's it. I'm not saying it should be the same for everybody. Mm-hmm. People make choices. For me, there is nothing that has more value. Things that we buy, things that we have, we can lose. The only thing that remains with us is the love and the share, and we care for each other. And I tell my young audiences, don't ever take your families for granted. You cannot buy another one, never. Mm-hmm. You buy toys or a house or a car, but never a family. There are challenges. Yes. I had lots of them. Mm-hmm. In fact, the Zoom we did in Ottawa on Monday, that teacher wanted me to talk about my early life first. Mm-hmm. And there were lots of challenges, but we make choices. It's not the challenges that hurts us. It's how we deal with them. Every decade we change. Well, am I the same as I was 50? Partly. But I have grown. Now I'm 60. Now I have new challenges. I'm babysitting 3 grandchildren till I was 70, 72, whatever. Then another, oh, okay. And my son used to ask me, Mom, you're always talking about that book you're gonna write. Yeah, you know that I don't know how to read or write because I never went to school. So how are you gonna write a book? How are you gonna do it? Where there is a will, there is a way. I'm in my lawyer's office, who was a friend, still is. And he heard me speak at the Rotary Club, and he said, Eva, you should have written that book yesterday. What are you waiting for? And I said, Dan, you know I don't know how to read or write. He said, you see this thing on my desk? Talk to it. Mm-hmm. So I did an oral manuscript.
Love it.
And I ordered 3,000. And my son said, Mom, why did it's gonna take you 3 years to sell 1,000? Well, within 6 months, all 3,000 were gone. It'll be 20 years this December.
Oh, wow.
25,000 had been sold. 5 times the national bestseller.
This
5
one?
times, that one.
This one?
5, yes. 5 times the national bestseller. Because schools are buying class sets.
Wow.
Yeah.
3,000, ha! Ha! So, Eva, I want to go back because that is incredible, and you show yet again what is possible. And when you talk about, oh, there's so many things I have to say. When you talk about not having a formal education, you are one of the most intelligent, articulate, just so wise, and share your wisdom. It has nothing to do with a formal education.
You know where I got educated? In Bergen and Auschwitz, Birkenau. Mm. That's where I got my education.
Yes. That's the school of hard lessons. I mean, you overcame so much. And we'll talk about that, but I also want to go back because we talked about family being so important. And, many people, it doesn't have to be your family is that supportive circle around you, whether they're blood relatives or not, right? That those close people, because like you say, your soul sister is Jackie, right? Not related by blood, but she's as much a sister as you're so close.
64 years.
Wow. That you've been friends. It's
64 years, yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But family, you can have a pseudo family.
Yes.
You connect, and the important thing to be connected with people that you have something in common. Mm-hmm. And spiritual values. I'm not necessarily talking about religious.
Right.
Spiritual values.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely.
As I said to my oldest granddaughter this morning, and she called me, people say to each other, I love you, and it's like dropping an ocean. Show me. Show me. I said, Brenna, you really showed me.
Yes, Brenna and Ellie, who created that video.
Unbelievable. I mean, she shocked me. Alexandra made sure, I call her Alexandra. She calls herself Ali, but either way,
yes,
she's my angel.
Yes.
Could I do these things if I wouldn't have her? No.
I'm so delighted. And when I was watching the video and all the heart and love that was poured into it, and all the people that were expressing happy birthday and also how much you meant to them. And then I was really emotional. And then I saw that my family was in the video, and then I really started to cry. I was like, we made the video. It means so much, because to be a part of your life in any way, it's just,
Yes.
it's a privilege for me. And I'm,
And I have said to my son many times, and I've said to Ali many times, their behavior, their action, and what they show me helps longevity. It does.
mm-hmm.
If you miss all this, you go downhill. A lot of seniors go downhill. But I had been blessed. Sadness, yes, my son is a twin. Mm-hmm. My daughter died 6 years before he was born.
Yes.
But I made a commitment at that time, forever, unconditional acceptance. And we have shared. And today when he came into the garage, and what he did, the greatest gift he had given me in eight months, he hugged me.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
I did, in the garage. I just broke down. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah, you cannot be more connected.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And this COVID has made, this pandemic has made life challenging again. And you know,
yeah.
it hurts my heart when I think of all that you can do and all the places you want to speak and all you've been through. And I was like, come on, does she need to be in a pandemic now?
Right.
It's challenging, especially when you live alone. And you know, I know your granddaughter's there part-time and
right.
And works full-time. I mean, there's a lot of hours alone, and that's hard on my heart as well.
Very difficult, very difficult. Mm-hmm. But I'm still blessed. In spite of all the obstacles and challenges and tragedies in my life, I had a lot of blessings and still have.
And that's what you hold on to, right?
And that's what I hold on to.
That's what you hold on to.
And that's the same with Ali, Brenner, Jan, my son. They help you. And I would like that people that have aging parents to think about that, the importance it is to be connected.
Yes.
Not just Christmas or Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever, to be connected. It helps them with the aging process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, as a nurse in 27 years, I have been at the bedside of more dying people than I can count. And the regret is never, oh, I wish I would have bought more toys. I wish I would have had a bigger house. The regret is always, I wish I would have spent more time with people, and the people that have to say goodbye. If there were challenges in separation, they wish that they had come back together and connected. And so, you know,
you cannot change the past.
You cannot change the past, but we can
make the future,
the
future more easier for people to live with aging.
Absolutely. And
yes.
Yes. And when we talk about the greatest lessons, and I think whether you learn this or not, what you've taught people, a great lesson is that you can have a full life and a contribution and live purposefully and fully in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You don't have to let your spirit get old. That is what you are teaching the world just by your example.
You have to find your calling.
Yes.
In whatever area, whether you want to volunteer in some areas, there are a lot of people that need help. And not necessarily, I'm not talking about financial, but physical, emotional help, spiritual help. We need to be connected. And even when I speak to high school students and college students, I said the same thing. Rather you going around not knowing what to do, there are people that could help, need your help.
Yes, and you're right. It doesn't have to take a lot of money or a lot of time.
Oh no!
Right? Sometimes the difference is having a conversation with someone, and we can still
exactly
in COVID. You know, we have to say we can't do this. What can we do? And you can have a physically distanced conversation with a lonely person and it's going to make the difference for their lives. We have to. There's
right.
a project called the Gen Well Project, and they talk about the importance of human connection, and they say reach out to just one more one more person.
One more.
Isn't that wonderful? Just one more. Check in and just one more.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have taught people the importance of human connection and never giving up. Never giving up.
Never. Never. That's something that my mom passed down to me.
Mm-hmm. And you have a picture of your mom where your life started. What is your mom's first name?
Leah.
Leah. Hold it up a little higher. There we go. We can see, look at her beautiful face. And you have honored your mom so beautifully I've heard you say many times. How do you feel about your mother?
Well, if she wouldn't have given up her time unselfishly from 3 other children, I wouldn't be, because my parents were financially zero.
Yes.
Living in a room, no electricity, no plumbing. A Hungarian young man that was the groundkeeper on that property that lived there before in that room, but he was taken into the First War. So my parents got married 6 months before the First War ended.
Okay.
So now there is no television, but they have kids.
Yeah, that's the pastime.
So they had 3 children, 4, 2.5, 7 months old.
Wow.
She got pregnant with this one, unwell. She wasn't a well person. Doctor told her abortion. She made a choice to stay in bed till I was born. I remember she was telling us the challenges because they had a big pea pot in the middle of the floor.
Wow.
So when you come to think of it, what did there were 4 girls in my family and 2 boys. So we used to sit in a circle, the girls, listen to her stories. And what did I come up with? What did I get out of this? As I become 10 and 12 years of age and 14, the courage she had.
Yes.
Well, it took courage.
Oh, enormous courage.
Yeah.
Courage.
And compassion for a human life. And never to give up hope. And I must say this, that's what I took with me to Auschwitz-Birkenau. I'm not going to die here. I'm not going to give up. There were 8 prisoners sitting on the top bunk, 4 and 4. And they thought I was crazy when they heard me talk. I'm not going to die here. Yeah, that's why it's so important when I speak to parents in the evenings. make sure that the legacies you pass down to your children are positive and they have something to take with them.
Absolutely. Well, you, for 96 years, you have held that great lesson that you learned
Yes.
from your mom.
Yes.
Courage, compassion, and never give up. And
Right.
that was something that you held on to through your whole life.
I have, yes. Still today. It's interesting. I was sort of a little bit, just a little bit. I said, well, I need a pick-me-up. Went into my bedroom. I went on the trampoline. And on the wall is my mom's picture. And I said, okay, Mom, this is for you.
And you jumped on your trampoline?
Yes. And yesterday, too. Yesterday, I did 7 minutes. Today, I think about 5 or 6.
Eva, you have no idea how much I love you and hearing that. Because again, you know, you're making a choice. 96, and I'm feeling a little, you know, whatever, I'm going to go jump on my trampoline. So there's another great lesson, isn't there? We always have a choice.
We have a choice, yes.
We have a choice.
Yeah, we have a choice.
We don't always have the choice we wish we had. Right?
That's a fact. That's a fact of life. That's reality.
That's reality. There's so many things we wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to choose this. And yet, really, most of our reaction to what is happening. And I always say to people, and you're in sharing your story and your life journey, feeling is healing. Feeling is healing, right? You allow your feelings, you allow the sadness. And I think that is a great lesson as well.
But you have to share that.
Yes. And then what? Right? And especially right now, we have to be so intentional about allowing our grief and creating joy.
Yes.
And creating joy and allowing that joy in, because we are challenged right now.
Very much so. Yes. Yes.
We are
very much so. Yes.
Yes. And yet we're fortunate. You know, I hear a lot of people when they're saying, oh, I'm tired of being on the computer. When I'm tired of being on the computer, I have a little break. And yet I am so grateful.
You have a computer.
I have a computer, and I'm able to connect with you, and we're able to have this wonderful conversation, and I get to share you, and we get to connect with anyone in the world. I mean, think of when there were other pandemics in the world, or the Spanish flu, people couldn't connect.
Yeah, but here is an example what happened today. My friend Nancy from Ottawa.
Yes.
She called this morning, we chatted, and she has an amazing husband, Chris, very supportive. She took her mom in. Her mom lived with them. There are a lot of challenges, health. And yet she took the time to call the florist. Can you believe this? To send the roses.
Well, that's how much you mean to her. And
well,
yes,
I've known her since 2009.
Beautiful.
Because her daughter at one of the high schools, which I'm not going to mention in Ottawa, was bullied.
Okay.
Nancy's Jewish. Her husband is not. So the girl, the daughter, Michaela, was bullied. And that's how the friendship started, because the teacher said, let's get Eva back in here. Actually, it was a French class. And then they've been hosting me. They're amazing people. I mean, these are the ones I mentioned that they drove from Ottawa, parked their car in my garage. Yeah. Chris took my garage and drove me to Quebec City to speak. He took time off work.
Yeah.
With me for a whole week.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how much you mean to people. That's how much you mean to people.
Yeah, I can mean to people in various ways, but to be a great human being, it's you make choices, right?
Absolutely. And again, when you think of those lessons, when your message of tolerance and acceptance and eliminating the word hate, I always say the lessons that you share when people are bullying others. I believe that hurt people. There's something missing. They're missing love in their lives, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Right? They're missing love in their lives because, as you say, hate is a sickness.
Yes.
And love is the only cure.
Yeah.
Love is the only cure. And so what is the greatest thing you say to bullies, and what do you say to those who are bullied?
Well, those that bully, I say this, you have to think about, do you want to be bullied yourself?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, then you shouldn't bully anyone either.
Mm-hmm.
The one that has been bullied, I've said that to even a couple of females that have been bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the one thing, it's his problem, not yours.
Absolutely. And there's one other group that it's always important to share a message with, and we're both, I feel passionate about it as well, is the bystander. The bystander. It is never okay to be a bystander.
Well, bystanders are as guilty as the perpetrators. There are no innocent bystanders.
No.
No, there isn't.
No. If
No.
you see something, say something. And if you are afraid to confront that person, go tell somebody else.
Well, go to your teacher or go to your parents.
Yes.
Yes.
The world as it is, when you think of this pandemic and this virus, COVID-19, there's nothing that it happened, and we can take preventative measures and try to move it on. It happened. But bullying and being a bystander, those are choices. Those are choices. And the world there's already enough challenges. And if we really need to, when I think of racism and just intolerance of anybody because of age, race, culture, sexual orientation, any of it. Religion, economic situation, all of those things, we really need to have a hard look at ourselves.
Exactly, because that's where it starts. It starts with the self, not with him or her.
Yes. Yes. And if you were raised to be a racist, if you were raised to think being gay is wrong, whatever it may be, those were the lessons you learned, and I understand that's challenging, and now it's time to re-educate yourself.
Yeah, you have a choice.
You have a choice.
You don't have to carry that monkey on your back.
That's right. When you talk about legacy, if that's the legacy that has been passed down, you need to question it, don't you?
Exactly.
Right? Question it. I think that's key. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's legacies that have been that aren't worth carrying on. Your legacy of love and tolerance and inclusion lives on forever. The legacies of bullying or racism, it stops now, and it stops with me and you and everyone to take responsibility.
Well, we have to, for blaming, what I say to the kids sometimes, when we blame others, it's a cop-out.
It is.
Because we don't want to accept the responsibility for our behavior or actions, we blame it on someone else. That doesn't work.
That's right. That's right. So we always, of course, you and I always get right into the deep conversations. We just get right in. And you know, I just realized, because we are celebrating 96 years of you, and I am so grateful that you have had tremendous purpose in this world, and you still do. I would love for us to, for a few minutes, share some of the beautiful, wonderful highlights of your life and the good moments that maybe we don't usually talk about. What are some of the best moments of your life?
The best moment, well, I talked about is my mom.
Yes.
But then the challenges after the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Mm-hmm. So I ended up in Sweden. And this is the month, October 1945.
Wow.
Yes, when I met Rudy.
Really? It was October 1945. Wow.
Right. And I turned 21 that month. Mm-hmm. He turned the same month 19. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was younger. Mm.
Well, I'm still looking for a younger man.
I know, you would need a younger man to come up to you.
Listen, he has to have good running shoes, right?
A couple of pairs, absolutely. October 1945, you met the love of your life, Rudy.
Yes.
He became your wonderful husband.
And yes, and we talked on another interview why I married him. Not just why,
but
that I allowed myself to marry someone from a different religious background.
Well,
I didn't marry religion.
No.
I married a human being
who loved you unconditionally.
That loved me unconditionally and helped me to balance my life.
Yes.
And that's what I needed.
Absolutely.
To help me to balance my life. Mm-hmm. And then it's something that, and it's interesting. When Jan and I were, just a couple of years back, we were talking about the marriage to his father. And he said, Mom, marriages are not made like that today.
You were connected on every level.
Every level.
Every level.
For him, and when I said to him, Rudy, you have to have a Swedish girl. You have more in your head than 30 Swedish girls put together.
Wow. He saw you. He saw you.
That's where I'm getting at, not the Swedish girl. He dated a beautiful girl. She came into the courtroom. He went out and told her something, and she left, and that was the end of that relationship. I had one dance with him, so maybe that was enough.
That's all it took. So he fell in love with you. And then,
but yeah, for him, even though seriously said, look, I'm uneducated, different cultural background, different religion. You really need to, he said, it doesn't matter.
So he taught you
it's okay to be different.
There's a beautiful lesson. There's another great lesson. It's okay to be different.
The only thing he said, it's not okay when we are indifferent.
A beautiful, yes.
Unbelievable human being. Yeah.
Unbelievable human being. I am so
Yeah.
glad he was in your life. I wish he would have been in your life longer.
So do I.
Yes.
His spirit, his body is not here,
Yes,
but his spirit is.
it is.
Always will be as long as I'm around.
Absolutely.
Because it's amazing. I have done in a couple of high schools in Ontario and one in Red Deer, Alberta. They wanted me to do this to senior students about the relationship, the intimate relationship. And I remember in North Bay, so it's one class, and then they left, another class came in. These are all seniors. And some of the students stayed back. They wanted to hear the same thing all over again. And I'm talking about things that happened in 1946. And I asked one of the girls, why do you think he did what he did? And she said, he had respect for you.
Beautiful. She saw it.
She saw it.
She saw it. She felt it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So Rudy, love of your life. And then you had Jan, your son.
Yes.
You had grief and joy all in the same moment as you realized.
Yes. Yes.
Twin sister who did not live. I know I can't even imagine. And yet you held on to, even after Rudy died, that you needed to be there for your son and that he kept you going.
Yes. Yes.
And in all that, so much tragedy and loss and sadness, you held on to beauty. And I know when Jan was little, just a baby, another wonderful moment in your life was connecting with Jackie, who became your lifelong friend.
Yeah, Jan wasn't 2 months old. He was 2 years old, rather, before he was 2, when we met.
And you're
64, Jan is 66.
Yes, it's beautiful.
We talked today. She phoned this afternoon.
I just think that's so beautiful because she has also witnessed all that you've been through.
Oh, yes.
She's been there for you. You've been there for her. She was in the
video.
Yes. She was in the video saying how much you mean to her and how you've helped her. And that lifelong friendship is gold, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So now you're making new friends.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And then you had your grandchildren, and you helped raise your grandchildren. You watched them for many years.
I babysat for 15 years, 45 hours a week.
Wow.
And then, while I was babysitting, after they picked up the kids, I went to work at the Riverside Inn.
Wow.
Put on my black slacks or skirt, white blouse, and went to clean tables. I became a bus girl because I didn't know how to write.
Wow.
Till one of the waitresses, an Oriental girl, she said, Eva, you're doing everything. You're greeting the people. Well, I was just, the high school kids don't know how to greet a customer coming into a restaurant, right?
Right. Yes, not the same. Yes.
So anyway, and the boss, she said, you know what? When the tourists go home in October, take a menu home and study it. I still have the badge. I should have found it to show you next time.
So fun. Good for you.
Supervisor of food and beverages.
Really? Look at you. I love that. See, I didn't know that. That is so awesome. Wow, you have, wow. That's incredible. That's incredible.
There were customers from the States calling. Is that lady still there?
Ah, you were making an impact even then, see? Oh my goodness, that's so wonderful. And I know the first book you read was Viktor Frankl's book when you were
Yes, 48.
48. Wow.
I was 48 when I read the first book, Man's Search for Meaning.
Yes.
He was 39 when he was in Auschwitz, and I was 19.
Wow.
Austrian professor.
Yes, incredible. Wow. And so in all the grief, there's been many joyful moments, and then you shared your journey in your books and your audios. And how many you have spoken, how many times about approximately?
Approximately 3,900 times.
39, almost 4,000 times.
Almost 4,000.
Almost 4,000 to how many people?
1.5 million.
I just have to sit with that for a moment. But it's wow, because the ripple of speaking, all of those people went home and they spoke to their family and they spoke to their friends about what they heard. So your impact, that ripple, extends farther than you will ever know.
Well, that's what Nancy from Ottawa was saying today. Eva, it's more than 1.5 million.
Oh.
She's saying the same thing you are.
Absolutely. That's when you hear something that you're excited about, you tell everyone, oh my goodness.
But here is the key. What I see when I walk into a school or a church or wherever, today when I leave, I hope in my heart that I've touched one of yours.
Oh, there's never a time where you only touch one. And I know what you're saying. There's never a time, because just being in your presence makes it all incredible. So we only have a few minutes. We could talk all day. So in wrapping up, what would your parting words, what would you like to say here at the end of our conversation? Although we'll have many more, of course.
Yes, how grateful I am for all those people that have accepted me, and for all those people that love me and brought me into their heart, their schools, their homes, the military, the Air Force Base, the provincial police, you name it. The Rotary, the Provost. Mm-hmm. I really am grateful.
Well, I know that every single organization, every single person that has been touched by your message is grateful for you. And so I say thank you from the bottom of my heart and soul, from everyone, and wishing you a happy 96th birthday. We will be visiting from a distance, and next year we will celebrate in person with lots of hugs.
Yes.
Together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Let's hold on to that.
Yes.
Hold
yes.
on to
yes.
that.
Absolutely.
Right? And we need you to stay healthy and happy, and we'll all embrace next year.
Eat a lot of fish.
Absolutely. Have a celebration dinner. Thank you, Eva.
Thank you.
My friend, thank you.
And your family. Thank you, and your family. All of them. They're just amazing.
Well, we love you back.
Jordy and the kids, and just
Tanner,
absolutely
about you. So thank you for everything. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart.
I love you as well, because yeah, I accepted you, as I said yesterday, as my pseudo family.
Oh yeah, you're family.
Yeah.
You're stuck with
yeah. Such a blessing. Love you.
For us too. I love you too. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.